The state of Nevada is one of the most geologically diverse places in the world and has one of the largest silver deposits ever found on the planet. This led to an explosion in population during the mid to late 1800s as boomtowns sprang up intermittently for almost 100 years in the western United States. In places like Virginia City, which sat on the Comstock Silver Lode, and Goldfield, Nevada, with its luxurious hotel and expansive minefields, these were some of the most populated places on the West Coast at the time. Explorers, entrepreneurs, immigrants looking to start a new life, and of course miners washed through the mountains of Nevada hoping to strike it rich. But by the 1950s, the majority of the population moved to Las Vegas or Reno to settle in the gambling towns that lived and died with the ever-changing railroad system. But scattered along the lonely desert roads in Nevada are many ghost towns still bearing some of Nevada's richest history. In this video, we will be talking about 6 ghost towns that still exist in the Nevada desert today and aren't too far from the freeway so that you could drive there this weekend maybe, and get a sense of what it was like back then with the few remaining structures that are still at these locations. Some of these locations are preserved by state taxes, but all the same, these aren't locations that are difficult to get to and are encouraged by the state to visit to learn more about our heritage as Nevadans. And this video doesn't include places like Virginia City, Goldfield, or Belmont, which are great places to get a sense of history, but these places do have residents and shops, and I guess can't really be considered ghost towns. The towns that haven't been preserved have been pretty ravaged by the weather, earthquakes, and vandals over the years. So if you visit these places, please remember to be respectful to the structures that are still there, leave nothing but footprints, and take nothing but photos. If you're new to the channel, hello and welcome. My name is John, and this is my travel and adventure video journal. If you want to see more of any of the places I'm about to mention, or follow any of my other adventures, please consider subscribing to my channel. And please strike that like button like the miners struck silver. It greatly helps out my channel, and with that said, let's get into 6 ghost towns that you can visit this weekend. The first on the list is Coldale. It's the most easily accessible because it's literally right off the freeway. In 1894, a camp was set up because coal deposits were found in the mountains to the south. It was lightly mined until the early 1910s, but large enough deposits weren't available to keep the town alive. Most people moved to nearby Tonopah, and in the 1940s it became a gas station and had a cafe, a motel, and service station as late as 1993. Now a few structures remain that you can still get a sense of what the road trips were like during the mid-20th century. This area has been heavily vandalized due to its location to the road, so please be careful. Rhyolite lays 120 miles north of Las Vegas, just outside of Beatty, Nevada. But back in 1907, Las Vegas was nothing but a few ranches, and the main attraction was the boomtown of Rhyolite, which was the center of the large Bullfrog mining district. Rhyolite is distinct due to its large stone buildings that still stand that were not common in Nevada at the time. Rhyolite was completely deserted by the 1920s, and today the park is upkept by the Bureau of Land Management and offers an extensive area to explore the old ruins. Candelaria is located just a few miles off Highway 95 and was founded in 1864 by Mexican silver miners. Soon grew to be one of the largest and rowdiest towns of the era. Economic depression in 1893 shut down most of the mining investment, and the town dwindled and everyone had moved out by the end of the 1930s. Now all that remain are the charred embers of the mill that burned down and a few earthquake-rattled Main Street buildings. A large pit mine exists from later mining operation. Berlin, Nevada is a great example of how people were living at the turn of the last century in Nevada. Berlin was established in 1897 and never rose to great prominence due to boomtowns in Tonopah and Goldfield. And after the mines became unprofitable to operate, Berlin was mostly abandoned by 1911. Today the buildings are upkept by our tax dollars and give us a look back to what your typical boomtown would look like at the time. Fort Churchill is another state historic park being upkept by our tax dollars, and is a reminder to the grim history of the United States expansion into the western Native American territories. Built in 1861 as the main military fortification to offer protection to the local communities, after a few skirmishes between American settlers and the Paiute Indians in the spring of 1860 as tensions ran high. Later known as the Pyramid Lake Wars, this brought the attention of the U.S. government, so the Army built Fort Churchill should any future attacks from the Paiutes occur, but they never did. Fort Churchill was abandoned in 1869 and turned into a national park in 1932. The Sutro Tunnel is a 3-mile-long mine shaft that started construction in 1869 and first opened in 1878, which led to minor passage and water drainage from the mine, which allowed for further mine exploration and also made huge advancements for mine safety at the time. The town of Sutro sprung up at the entrance of the tunnel, and about 700 people lived there until mining in the Comstock ultimately came to an end by 1920. A few of the mining buildings still remain, and a private group is working to restore the Sutro Tunnel, and you can find out how you can help out or get a tour of the site by visiting thesutrotunnel.org, and I will have a link in the description below. And so that's all I got for this one, guys. If you have any stories about any of these locations, please feel free to leave a comment. I love to hear about when people saw these places a long time ago. These are great locations to check out if you want to get the younger ones interested in Nevada's history. These were my introduction to ghost towns as a kid. So please hit that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe if you want, and I'll see you out there on the next adventure.